Hi, my name is Spencer Grant, and you're listening to Fourtrees, a Warrior Cats community podcast. This week, on the final episode of Season 2, I am joined once more by my friends Clayton and Cora to talk about Sunset. If you're interested in this discussion, I would suggest listening to the last couple of episodes, because I cannot imagine jumping into this one without the context provided by those, especially because I have to tell you guys a little story. I think it's important to do it. Start on the season finale, I want to finish off the story I started in the last episode. If you'll recall, I discussed how my friend Clayton, even after watching the public rise and downfall of Charlie Sheen, was undeterred to achieve his dream of becoming an influencer. I did not, however, tell you about the lengths he went to in order to do this. Now, in the early days of the internet, there wasn't really a way that people became an influencer, right? There was just people on YouTube giving out vague advice. Just do it. Just do this. Just do that. Like, there wasn't, like, a path to it. But as the years came by, since Clayton's time in middle school, eventually a path to becoming an influencer became known to the general public, and people started doing more of it. Clayton, of course, was one of the first to try it. The first step to becoming an influencer, according to him, was choosing your influence. He chose Cheerwine, a soda pop that was sold nearby to him. He began making copious amounts of Instagram posts, tagging the company and prominently featuring the brand in well-staged photos and stories. He hoped that with any luck, a day would come where Cheerwine, the company, would sit up, take notice, and begin sponsoring him, sending him products, and telling him to use copy. But that day would never come. Still, Clayton didn't relent. He continued to post about Cheerwine, occasionally receiving a message from the official account, but never anything that led to a brand deal. We started pulling out all of the stops to support our friend. Me and Clayton's other friends began emailing them. We started taking pictures of ourselves enjoying Cheerwine. We would comment and like on Clayton's posts to boost his engagement. We even tried to add the CEO on LinkedIn, but nothing worked. To this day, Clayton continues to vie for their attention. His Instagram page is half videos of him doing lightsaber choreography and half Cheerwine posting. Now, if I know my friend Clayton, and I do, I think, he's never going to give up. It's something about him that I respect and admire to a great extent, and I intend to be the best friend I can be by continuing to support his efforts. I'd be lying if I said that I don't have a vested interest in telling the story in the hopes that maybe by sharing Clayton's struggle, something might change. I don't think this podcast has the reach to do so, but you never really know when things will turn around for you. As an example, back in April of 2020, the zeitgeist turned towards a Netflix docu-series called The Tiger King. It was outrageous, controversial, and still continues to be a fond memory for many, and everybody was talking about it at the time. Cheerwine, the company, hoping to capitalize off of the immediacy of the craze, called their top marketing minds together to find a way to connect their brand to the madness of the Tiger King. So, on their Instagram story, they ended up posting a recipe for a Cheerwine cocktail. It had 2 ingredients, Cheerwine and vodka. They called this cocktail Tiger's Blood. And somewhere in the world, Charlie Sheen felt a weight lift off of his spirit.
You know, I'm very frustrated by something suddenly. Like, very... Okay. So, I'm looking at the last page of the story proper, page 348.
Mm-hmm.
And Do you know what? The finale doesn't take place at sunset.
No,
it's at sunrise.
It's sunrise, yeah.
I forgot about that, and I hate it.
So
Why?
good.
Well, I mean, because they had... Wait.
And you know what makes this even worse that I'm suddenly remembering?
Wait,
The last book of Power of Three is Sunrise.
No, hold on. Wait, I'm now looking at the new prophecy book order. It goes midnight, moonrise, dawn, starlight, twilight, sunset. That's not the order. What? after. That should be sunrise. Wait, what? Why isn't that order? Why isn't that order?
But if it was Sunrise, then they couldn't call the last book in the Power of Three Sunrise.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, you really think they were planning the Power of Three any more than the name by this point?
Wait, but
Not
the
even slightly.
but sunset doesn't even make sense. Like, it's not like sunset.
It's the sun setting on. This is the final step in the journey that took them to the Sundrown Place.
I get is that I feel
But
like
the Sundrown
sunset
Place.
should be earlier when they first get to the Sundrown Place. Should be sunset.
I feel like Sunset should be book 3, and this should be Dawn.
Well, so, I mean, the proper order... Well, technically, if you want... I like the idea of the order of being... Okay, let's reorder
Maybe you
them.
should just read the books in the order that these are supposed to
I think it should
Okay,
go...
so
So, if you go by that,
reordering it, would it
Sunset
be-
is first. The first is Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
You would go Sunset, then Moonrise.
Wait, you forgot Twilight.
Are we going to... Twilight can be either time, and I want to put Twilight afterwards, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I suggest the direction we go here is Sunset, Moonrise, Starlight, Midnight, Twilight, Dawn. Right?
I'd say Midnight reversed with Starlight.
I
Midnight
kind
the
of
third,
want
because Midnight is like the nadir, right? That's when everything's going wrong and they have to leave the forest. I think that's
That's
like
what I
the
was
darkest
thinking.
hour kind of thing. So
Okay, that
Midnight
works.
third book.
So we do so maybe it could be like not in media res, like in media the end of the book, the end of the story.
Yep.
Right.
You're probably wondering how I got to this
Yeah,
point.
can we do that? And it's like so
Yep,
the first book.
that's me.
What if this book like started with like Firestar dying on the ground, Brambleclaw right there, his evil brother next to him, and it freeze frames saying, "Well, you're probably wondering how I got there." Well, let me tell you a
And
little
then it goes
story.
all the way back.
Oh wait, that's kind of nice. Oh, I think
Yeah,
we should have
and
started
then
off
it
like
cuts, and then
That
at the
would
very
make it a lot more satisfying.
and then at the very end of Dawn, it cuts back to Brambleclaw killing Firestar.
I kind of like the idea of I like the idea of reading these books out of order now that I'm thinking more about it. When I was watching, there's this great show on Amazon called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And when I watched it, I accidentally watched the last episode first. And I was like, oh, wow, is this intentional? And I started like watching through it in the actual intended order, and I realized that I had watched the last episode first. But I was so much more engaged with the content because I was like, oh my god, what happened in that, in these previous episodes that led us here? What's going on? What's going to happen next? And yeah, I just feel like that might be a way to make this what is it? Double trilogy, the sextology actually.
You see, I like to watch Memento by watching the first 5 minutes, skipping all the way to the end and watching the rest reversed. That's how I like to watch Memento.
Oh my god. See, you know what I just realized is one of my, an issue that I have, right, with, Power of Three's finale, is, you have the first part, or not Power of Three, New Prophecy. You have the first part is very centric on the journeying cats. They're incredibly important. And they all have more or less, like Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight have the most, but they all have more or less pretty similar amounts of screen time. Then they get to book 4, and suddenly it's the Brambleclaw show. Like,
So I hope he likes your time with Stormfur, because you're never gonna see him again.
After book 3, Tawny Pelt doesn't even show up until sunset. Same with Stormfur.
I mean, have you considered it's because they just really enjoyed the official DILF that is Tiger Star and want to get a crumb of his pure sex appeal through Brambleclaw? Have you considered that?
As much Tiger Star as possible.
Yeah.
But my issue with this is we can see that Tiger Star is also trying to make a deal with Tawny Pelt, and Tawny Pelt is as much a part of the Sins of the Father plotline as the rest. She just doesn't want to deal with it, so they just shunt her aside.
I mean, the other option here is that they really wanted to do like a Star Wars thing, where I guess in this case Brambleclaw is Darth Vader. Yeah, that works.
Is Brambleclaw Darth Vader?
Or is he Luke? He's either Darth Vader or Luke.
I like to think of him as being irredeemably evil. So.
I'm seeing the whole Fox trap scene at the end. That's sort of like the ending of Star Wars, where it's like, Luke is on the ground. In this case, Firestar is Luke, I guess, and Hawkfrost is then Palpatine, who's like zapping him with his little Force hands. And then Brambleclaw
is Palpatine.
Yes, there's two Palpatines.
Who's Han Solo?
Who's Han Solo? Graystripe.
Who's Rey?
Who's Rey? I guess
Hollyleaf?
Hollyleaf, I guess, whoever this is in the future. The future cats.
Wait,
Who's
I'm not that familiar. I'm not that familiar with Star Wars.
I just remembered Rey. I just remember that Rey was Palpatine's kid, which means that Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter.
Is Rey?
No, because Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter is the whole thing, which means that it's one of Brambleclaw's kids, not one of Brambleclaw's kids.
Wait, but how do... Wait, we're forgetting to factor in Thistleclaw.
I'm really upset that...
Tiger Star's mentor, originally.
Darth Pelagius the Wise.
Yeah, I'm very upset that whereas the Firestar's quest was a 1-to-1 with cats, this is not a 1-to-1 with Star Wars, and I'm incredibly upset about it. Who's Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar... clearly Mothwing.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Just as tragic, clearly.
Misa don't believe in Starclan.
Mothwing and Leafpool co-parenting their child together.
Misa don't believe in Starclan. What can I say?
I will stab you.
I think that the concept of a cat atheist is really weird in the Warrior Cat series, considering how explicit the cat ghost being real thing.
Yeah,
is. And then they try to do a thing where it's like, oh yeah, it's because the one time she was tricked, one time by Hawkfrost doing the moth wing. But I don't get how that completely
the example
ruined
they give,
her
right?
foundation.
The example they give is the prophetic dreams, where Mothwing is like, oh, you're just remembering something that you'd forgotten, which could have been remotely viable, but it's all just kind of shunted aside because of the fact in the first series, which I constantly harp on, I know, but I think it's kind of slightly ambiguous whether or not leaders actually have 9 lives.
Or whether they just believe in it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because, we see at the end, Tiger Star dies immediately because it's a very severe wound. But, it's made incredibly explicit, very explicit in the new prophecy, that leaders do, in fact, have 9 confirmed lives.
Yeah, they start metagaming it a little.
And, if they have 9 provable lives, then, cat ghosts, cat god ghosts are, in fact, real.
I think, I don't know, I'm a big fan of saying, I wish that Mothwings, here's my thing. I kind of wish that they kept the effect in the first sort of series, where it was very ambiguous whether or not Starclan was real, or if, all the cats were just hallucinating. In which case, I think it could be really, a nice sort of play on irony, where Mothwing's actually the only reasonable cat who isn't believing
right cat.
The shared cat hallucinations. But then they do stuff where they're like, oh yeah, Hawkfrost and Brambleclaw can communicate when they go to hell to see their father. Like that.
Yeah. And it leaves
they will transfer they will transfer information and it will be accurate.
Yeah, and they'll also when they're fighting in dreams with their father in hell, they get those same wounds on their waking bodies. Mothwing just seems really
dumb. She's the warrior cat's equivalent to a flat earther, I would say.
Which it almost feels like a weird anti-atheist sort of talking point from the Erin Hunters. Do you think they put this in to be
rational skepticist, I think. But in this book she's sorry, I just don't believe in vaccines.
Yeah,
I know I'm a medicine cat. I'm just gonna cure them with, not magic.
Herbs. There are only herbs. No dreams.
There are only herbs. Or herbs, as they're supposed to say, because they're British.
Oh, right, I forgot they're British. Confirmed they're British.
They should really be saying herbs and spices from KFC because they are American.
I don't think that they should be saying herbs and spices from KFC.
From
because
KFC.
I don't think that they know what KFC is.
I think.
Probably not.
Oh, did you miss the
Do you think
chapter?
if any of these,
Wait,
if
did
any
you
of these
miss?
cats knew what KFC was, why do you think they would stay in the fucking forest?
Why would they
Hold
still
on.
be hunting?
Hold on,
I mean-
Spencer. Did
I mean,
you
Scourge.
miss the chapter? I'm confused. Did you miss the chapter where Brambleclaw and Firestar were together, and Firestar was like, "Oh, hey, Brambleclaw, do you want to get some KFC? You should go. They have their new family meal. Only an entire bucket of chicken for only $12 to feed your whole
They're
family."
not paying us for this. They're not paying us for
You know,
this. We can't.
it
No,
actually
they did.
kind
They
of
did. And then,
No,
and
it
then
kind-
you
wait,
missed it. It was a whole. Oh wait, who sponsored us this week?
Brambleclaw is like, no thanks. I prefer to have my chicken at Popeyes.
Oh, there we go, okay.
Their new value meals are off the charts. And then
And-
he winked at the camera.
Yeah, and then Firestar went, "Oh wow, really? Popeyes? Don't they have that new spicy fried chicken sandwich for me to try? I'm so excited to try that." It sure
You
gets.
betcha.
Yeah, and then he said his signature catchphraase. He said, "Oh man, fried chicken, I'm flaming up," because that's Firestar's signature catchphrase.
I thought his signature catchphrase was, "We need to make sure that fresh kill pile is stocked by sunrise."
Oh yeah,
Hey, no,
sunset.
sunset.
No, it said sunset.
like.
Sorry.
Hang on, wait. I just had a moment, right?
Yeah.
I just had
Yeah.
like a very, very interesting realization. Another problem with Mothwing is that her skeptic arc has already been done. You remember Cloudpaw?
I do
Cloudtail?
remember Cloudtail.
And
We were
also
talking about
Blue
him
Star.
earlier.
Both of them just stopped believing in Starclan, like entirely. Actually, wait. I can't remember if Blue Star stopped believing in Starclan or started believing that Starclan hated her forever. It was one of the
She
two.
did a little bit of both, and then
Okay, that's
she
understandable.
got a redemption at the end, which I
As-
think is like probably the best time to do it,
Yes,
right?
as
She
she
was
died.
like, I was crossing my fingers the whole time. I actually believe in StarClan. Please take me to heaven.
Look,
And she got there.
you know what? You know how this actually should have ended? Blood Clan should have come back and killed them all. You know,
I,
give me a
agree
blood
with you.
give me a Blood Clan symbol. Give me a Blood
Okay,
Clan
sure
symbol.
thing.
I think I'm part of Blood Clan now
Let's
Alright.
go.
because I'm pretty I'm done with everyone in this forest at this point. Like Tawny Pelt is great, but she's canceled out by the fact that everyone else in Shadowclan is like the worst, just the
They're
worst.
just not
so
good.
just like Blood Clan, kill everyone.
Hey, I have a question. Why was Brambleclaw killing Hawkfrost so brutal? Why did he like fully impale him on like a spike?
You know, there's like this is another weird thing. Like in the first series, everything's really brutal.
Mhm.
Like cats are killed in horrible ways, and like
Yeah.
there are remnants of it. Like we have like
Boiled alive.
Boiled
Throwback-
alive, just like Popeye's new chicken deal.
throwback to
Wait,
throwback
no,
to
wait.
White Hart
Chicken
being
should be
a
boiled
lost
alive.
face,
Wait, that's not how fried chicken works. Oh,
mauled by dogs.
oh, I missed it.
Steamed chicken.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Cora?
Sorry, I'm
We're
just
focused on
throwing
chicken,
back
though.
to like the living remnant of the brutality of the old forest. Throwback
Mhm.
to our favorite Brightheart being named Lost Face being mauled
Oh,
horribly
yeah.
by dogs and Swiftpaw dying horribly in that accident.
Beautiful.
The first series was pretty horrifying. Tiger Star did a
Yeah.
lot of very like
Oh
in
my
the-
god, the
in-
part where he died of feline diabetes 9 times in a row. It was
in the
terrible.
darkest hour where it's like very clearly described. Scourge just like ripping him in half. Like it's brutal. Like
Mhm.
Warrior Cats has a long history of really excessive gratuitous violence for a kid's book.
So
I very
do
much appreciate
that.
it.
Yeah, Hawkfrost is getting the old fashioned send off.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
Daddy.
That's why I feel like it's actually, I don't know, I like Brambleclaw by the end of this book because I feel like he had his redemption by being absolutely
Well, you
like,
didn't have to
super
read
metal.
any of the stuff that he needed to be redeemed from.
Yeah, it's true, but I still think he's earned it. His redemption, good enough for me. Make him
Time to read
Bramblestar
this book
now.
where Brambleclaw's exclusively a good guy. Wow,
Yeah.
what a good guy! I don't
His
see why
entire
anybody was.
his entire redemption, doing anything that literally any loyal Thunderclan cat would do, but hesitating for a while first.
Listen, make him Bramblestar right now. I think he
No,
deserves it.
Bracken Star, for God's
Bracken
sake.
Star, also Tawny Star. It will never
I think-
happen, but
Yeah.
I wish it had.
Bramblestar is a better warrior cat's name than Brackenstar.
I think that you need to take a long walk off of a short pier.
A long walk?
right now.
A long walk off a short pier. Right into a bucket of Popeye's fried chicken. With biscuits included.
Screw them both, Squirrel Star.
Squirrel Star is very good.
Cora,
I like that as well.
Cora, I have to say that is a very hot take. Almost as hot as Popeye's new dipping sauce.
Stop it.
Delicious. Spicy hot dipping sauce for your fried chicken needs.
Fancy Feast, if you're listening, we could do this for you. No, but like, I feel like Windclan could do with a better leader than One Star, because I'm still not over how One Star, betrayed Firestar and was a complete jerk for the entirety of the last book.
And subsequently was never encountered again.
Yeah, One Star's a pretty bad.
They only give main characters redemption arcs.
I guess you could say that One Star gets a 1-star review, huh?
Yep.
Well, you know it doesn't get a 1-star review?
You got... Popeye's fried chicken, 5 stars every time.
Delicious fried chicken, 5-star review for every meal, let me tell you.
God. That's...
I want to talk about this for so long, all the time. It frustrates me immensely how mishandled one Whisker to 1 star was, because he was one of the good ones. He was good.
Like I can't think of a better Windclan cat to replace him, because there aren't any.
Yeah, just don't kill Tall Star. Keep Tall Star. Best cat in the series.
Tall Star's good. Yeah.
Hey, I want to bring it back to the.
Why can't we reincarnate Tall Star instead of Cinderpelt?
I want to bring back.
Let's hear what Clayton has to say.
I want to bring back the ultimate guide, because I'm looking at the canonical, depiction of 1 star here. He's a little derpy, I gotta say. He's a little dumb looking. There's something off about him. I don't know what it is, but this one's just sort of. I feel like they could have done better on this one.
I am 1 star.
He's just sort of coming through the tall grass.
I like him. He's nice and lumpy.
Oh.
I think every good cat should be.
I mean, I can say that as a warrior, One Whisker was.
Wait, what is his tail doing?
It's to the side. All I know is that One Whisker was.
No, it's to the side.
Was loyal and courageous.
Look at the angle his body is versus the angle his tail is. How is that happening? That's either in order to make that angle, his tail needs to be as long as his body. Longer.
That's a good point. I feel like the perspective.
That's very, very weird. Hey, by the way, why is he called One Whisker if he has multiple whiskers?
Because one of his whiskers is a different color, I think.
Oh, is that what it is?
So I've been told. He is usually depicted in fandom by only having 1 whisker.
As I was looking up
some fan art for a collage I was making to put up in my room.
I mean, he has no whiskers in this depiction.
That's true. He does not have any whiskers in the official art.
Fair.
I mean, are we considering Warriors the Ultimate Guide to be the be-all end-all?
I mean, I think there are a lot of debates as to what is and isn't canon within Warriors cats, because the books contradict each other, the novellas contradict each other, what's written on the Facebook pages contradict each other, and there's even a super fan who apparently is allowed to name kittens that don't have names in canon. So, that also might contradict something that another person says. So there are basically tiers that you have to take it in as to what is and isn't canon, and how those tiers might differ for each person depends, because the wiki is not the best resource for this.
Wait, hang on. Speaking of wiki, I'm looking at the page for Thistleclaw.
Yeah.
Apparently he began training in the Dark Forest, so how far back does this rabbit hole go?
Well, the rabbit hole began retroactively.
Of course.
He was not in the Dark Forest until, I think the Spotted Leaf's Heart novella came out, and they were like, yeah, he was evil too, actually.
I really don't appreciate the continuing polarization of good and evil in Warriors.
Yeah. I feel like we should have some nice gray cats, like Yellowfang.
Yeah, and Cinderpelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the great ones.
I
find it amazing that the 3 we mentioned are some of the most unequivocally good or aligned cats in the entire series.
Yeah. Well, Yellowfang, I think she's. I just feel like the Warrior Code needs a lot more flexing room.
Yes.
I mean, I figured you guys were asking for a lot these books, like a lot of gray
That's
room.
also
When I
true.
think it runs into the same issue that Harry Potter has, where Shadowclan and Slytherin are both sort of there to be like, hey, look, it's the bad cats, and Thunderclan Gryffindor is the good cats.
They're still people, though.
I
Or at
mean,
least they should be.
yeah,
I don't remember any points where Slytherin gets redemption, but also I've stopped. I'm like actively attempting to avoid caring about Harry Potter in my life.
that is true. And my point is, there's no reason to, because they're kind of badly written. They're kind of bad.
Yeah, they're not.
There's not a lot of gray area, and I worry
I literally
that
never
in
read-
some
wrote them-
places,
never
I
read them.
worry in some places that
Lucky.
warrior cats may run into the same issues.
They fired the transphobic author
They did. Okay, not those issues. The other,
like within a day.
not
was
those
incredible.
issues. Like I feel like that's why. Yeah, but I think they had to worry about that specifically due to the fact that Warriors is Harry Potter for furries, right? I think we.
I'm telling my mom you said that.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it here. Okay, it's.
That make us all furries.
Well, I mean, not necessarily for furries. I feel like there's definitely a warrior cats to furries pipeline.
Okay.
I'm not.
Wait, I'm going down so
have
many
to-
rabbit hole. I'm going down the Dark
have
Forest
to-
rabbit hole right now.
All right.
Apparently,
Why not?
Crooked Jaw was also made a deputy because of intervention from the Dark Forest.
What? No, my
Like-
dude.
Everything is the
going
Dark
on?
Forest's fault now. Like,
This is
when
some
did this happen? I don't know.
I think that's
Crooked
just
Star
all
was a
that
good
is.
leader.
Evil? Yeah. Maybe he had a redemption at some point. Maybe he was like, actually, the Dark Forest is bad. I've decided.
Nah,
You're welcome.
it's just very, very.
It might like suffer from Sherlock syndrome, because like the longer that Sherlock went on, the more it had to promise that, like, each of these games that Sherlock was piecing his way through was all part of some bigger thing. And so I guess what's happening here is they were like, oh well, we gotta like find a more compelling villain. What's a way to make a villain more compelling? I know, retroactively. Let's just make the villain responsible for the stuff that the last villains did. There you go. Now we've got some cool,
Gotcha.
triple villain, extra fudge with
Although
chocolate chips on top.
I do appreciate the full canon name for the Dark Forest being the place of no stars. I think that's cool.
I like that.
I just
Way
like
better than cat hell.
ever since I found out that like there's a real cat hell in the Warrior Cat series. I
Yes.
just think that's so funny. It's so funny.
it's
I'm
pretty
sorry.
bad.
I like it. It seems like the weirdest choice to me in terms of writing. It's like I think we need a canonical cat hell where the bad cats go. Like, because
I would love
originally
to be in that meeting. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this because originally, you could say Warrior Cats was kind of a Jewish piece in that there wasn't a hell.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't believe in a hell, and then they're like, no, we don't.
I do very distinctly remember the part of
We were going to have-
the New
yeah.
Prophecies where they celebrated Rosh Hashanah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that
yeah.
one. And then they're like, no, we're definitely, we definitely have a Christian sort of mythology here of the canonical good and bad place, to be connected. I mean, I guess not necessarily. I feel like a lot of mythologies have good and bad places. I just, originally it seemed like the punishment for being a bad cat was just you're dead, right?
Idiot.
But
That's what you get.
but it's
Moron.
You're
not.
so smart. Why? Are you...
It's you get to go to cat hell and then
And
slowly
continue to be evil
and
over
continue to
there.
be evil, make evil plans in your
Apparently,
cat hell.
Tallstar was 11 years old when he died. About old cat. Sorry,
I
I'm
mean-
like getting
No,
very
by all
sidetracked.
means. I feel like the warrior cats all like 11 years old is maybe old for an outdoor cat, because outdoor cats tend to live like 6 to 8 years less long. But like also the warrior cats are like consistently getting extremely old and dying by the time that they're like 6.
Yeah. So like,
That's not how it works.
how
But-
old is Mouse?
Mouse fur? I think she's like 4 or 5.
Well, apparently, hashtag spoiler alert. Apparently she died during the final battle with Hell, and she was about 12 years old.
Who did?
Oh,
Holly?
good for her.
How
Wait,
how much time has passed since Warriors
I
happened?
have no idea.
A lot.
Firestar.
What do you mean? Like the whole
Like-
thing? Well, because
Yeah, like,
there's
how-
So Firestar is at least in like the first 3, right? The first 3 series.
I think like 5 years old at this point.
I mean, there's now. I was looking this up earlier because a friend was like, "How many Warrior Cats?" I was telling her that I had to go record the Warrior Cats podcast, and she asked, "How many Warrior Cats books are there?" And I think like there's 40. There's exactly 40 in the main series as of now. A new one comes out literally next month.
Wow.
And it's 7 and it's 7 series. They're on the 7th series right now. The 4th book of the 7th series. Each one being 6 books. Which first off means, Spencer, you really gotta ramp it up if you're gonna catch up.
I would. Do you know how long it takes to get people to read books?
I mean, it took. I'm just saying, it took me 7 hours.
Okay.
I'm ready, Spencer. I'll
Rip
grip
to
it.
everyone else, but you're different.
Yeah, what can I say? As soon as I'm finished my classes, just ask me, Spencer. I'll rip it and grip it. I'll get you on every week. I got you.
Just Clayton and I for the rest of the entire.
Yeah,
round.
we're out here ripping and gripping. Ripping and gripping, let me tell you.
Look, I can knock out a Warriors book in like an hour and a half.
That is...
I can read.
Me.
I could probably read like the rest of the series in the space of a weekend.
Just ripping and gripping.
Don't tempt me.
Just ripping and gripping. Let me tell you.
I would love
Stop
to rip
saying
it and
rip it and grip it.
I want you to grip. Oh, actually makes this up. You grip it, then rip it. You can't rip it and grip it. I guess.
Don't
rip it and rip it.
Don't rip the books.
Why?
They're on your computer. How are you going to rip them?
I'm gonna grip it and rip it.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Well, I guess in that case you're gonna want to zip it and grip it. Haha.
That's true.
Hang on, you're gonna
file.
unzip it and grip it. Imagine trying to read a book while it's a zip file.
I'm gonna grip it and unzip
Stranger
it.
Things.
There we go.
Grip it
Grip
and
it and
unzip
unzip it.
Dumb.
Hey, you know what else you should really? You know what else is a great thing to grip it and rip it? delicious drumstick of Popeye's fried chicken.
Why did I agree to this?
Don't forget the sauce. Don't forget the sauce.
You're gonna have to grip it and rip it open the sauce for your
that
Popeye's fried
delicious
chicken.
sauce. For Popeye's
Okay.
delicious fried chicken.
Wow, I can't wait. I can't wait for Spencer to edit this and have to decide which of the Popeyes endorsements to put in.
All of them.
Can't wait for Spencer to really have to cut every single Popeyes endorsement. Every single fake Popeyes endorsement we've included in this recording.
I'm probably gonna have to. You guys have given me so much. I'm gonna have to like record another episode in the interim, so that I can like have something to put out while I'm editing out all of these pop-ups.
And I know who you're gonna record it with. At this point, Clayton and I should really just be permanent fixtures on Fourtrees.
That might be a decent idea.
What other okay, do you have anything else to say about Suns? It was such a bad book. It was such a bad Warrior
It
Cats
It was
book.
awful. It was terrible. Of all of the Warriors books that I remember, I think it's probably the worst.
I think we should have realized this was the bottom of the barrel when I tried to do the sunset bit, and there were 2 sunset, both by Firestar.
I got one caveat to
All right. Let's hear it.
Warriors. I hope you all realize that we have hit the single lowest point in the Warriors series. It's uphill from here because while the books get more and more nonsensical, they also go so far off the rails that they're hilarious.
So like JoJo Part 6. JoJo's
A lot
Stone
like
Ocean.
JoJo Part
Yeah,
6.
just like
Like
JoJo's
they
Part
just
6.
get so absolutely bizarre
Adventure.
that they become hilarious.
Firestar's Bizarre Adventure.
I'm very excited to find more material for my Spotted Leaf as a villain theory.
Honestly,
wait.
she's probably... I can't remember how much she plays a part, but she's Spotted Leaf, so she probably plays a part in...
She's
Forever.
gonna be there until the end of time.
Oh wait. Oh no. See now you've gone and created my new theory, which is I've done the one to one with cats. I've attempted the one to one with Star Wars. The next one-to-one I'm now seeing is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where the first JoJo is Firestar, and then we follow along with his lineage. And at a certain point, they gain stance, which is when everything becomes magic, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the magic goes away too, right?
It does. Oh, right,
I
because
don't know.
no, I think that is a thing. Because doesn't the fight between Cat Heaven and Cat Hell like decimate both of them? Isn't Cat Heaven gone? I don't know. I think that's a thing.
I'm pretty sure Spotted Leaf Spirit dies during that fight.
God, I hope
God.
she does.
I'm not
She's
sure,
such
but
a-
I feel like I read that at some point. Like, granted, I dropped it in the middle of Power of 3, so I don't really know that much about it. Because I was like, yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
Hey, I have an idea.
All right, what's your idea?
I think the Warrior Cats franchise would have been better if they had stand powers.
Oh my god.
I
You know
just
what?
think
Actually,
good
you know what?
choice.
I'm willing to hear you out. Go off.
You're willing to hear him out. Okay.
Of course.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think that it could have been like a much like more fun like climax. Like, let's say in this sort of the climax of this book, right?
Is that
the climax where Brambleclaw goes to stab Hawkfrost and suddenly he's frozen, and Hawkfrost has Dio's the world. He's frozen
of course,
time.
Of course.
And so he sort of walks around Brambleclaw and is like, oh, it's useless. I have you where I want you. And that's when Brambleclaw starts to move. He has Star Platinum. They're the same type of stand.
They're the same. Oh my god. Hold
And
on.
then-
I need to...
Wait. Then what? Then did Tiger Star have like a prototypical the world
I
platinum?
mean, I guess in this case, no, because I think it's the same way, because he doesn't necessarily have a stand, just like how Jotaro's. But yeah.
That's true. Oh, actually, that. You know
Yeah,
why?
it all works.
You know why? Firestar, in his first appearance as Rusty, he was illuminated by like a beam of light.
Yeah, he had helm on. So this is like the part 1 to part. So as I can see it, Firestar is sort of the part 1 to part 2 type equivalents, and the Badgers are the Nazis in part 2. The Badgers are the Nazis in part 2. We're gonna say that.
Just mentally.
Midnight
Firestar
is Stroheim.
Joseph. Firestar is Joseph.
Yeah, Midnight is Stroheim in this case, right? We can
Monty
see that.
Python intermission music playing in my head.
And then, listen, this has gone on too far. My entire joke.
Talking about anime.
Yeah, I really just want to say this entire joke was supposed to lead up to Bramble Star Platinum, and like we kind of went off topic. So I feel bad now.
I really
just wanted to grip and rip that one pun right there. So.
Look, if Harry Potter didn't work and Star Wars didn't work, we're just gonna keep throwing darts until we find one that sticks.
Yeah, because no content is original.
No,
That's
nothing
true,
nothing
I
new
guess.
nothing new under the sun. Writing
Hero
is a
with
lie.
1,000 faces.
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly a singular experience. Thank you so much for being here, you freaking degenerates.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Thank you for having me on, you further degenerate.
Thank you very
It's
much.
my pleasure.
I have to say, I'm pretty hungry. I'm gonna go to dinner. I think I might get some Popeye's chicken. Let me
Delicious
just order real
Popeyes
quick.
fried chicken.
All right. Well, I think I will too. So.
Yeah. Also, go get some Popeyes fried chicken.
Yeah, some So for listeners of Fourtrees, if you go to the nearest Popeye's proprietary store and you enter the coupon code I know a cat, that's one word, I know a cat, they will look at you like you just said something weird and then charge you full price for your meal, because we do not have a promo code for Popeyes. And I don't know why. We should.
We
I
should.
will
See if you can get Popeyes to sponsor us.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this before. I did at one point try to get like a fake sponsorship for Fourtrees, and I went to Nando's, which is a restaurant here in the UK, and I was like, hey, I run a podcast and I know that you have like a thing for influencers to promote your brand, so do you think I would be able to get a hand on my copy on like some copy, just as a joke? I won't like actually, I don't actually expect to be compensated for this, I just want to tell a joke. And they were like, oh, well, we don't know the person who can do that, so here's an email address, and you can write to them. And I had to endure the extremely embarrassing experience of not only going to a store and having to say, I'm an influencer, please let me promote your product, but then having to write an email that says, "I'm an influencer, please let me promote your product," and link to my podcast, which was at the time getting 8 viewers.
Did you get it? Did you get the sponsorship?
They never wrote back, which is, I think, the cherry on top of
that's
this.
so
terrible...
shameful.
I mean, I think maybe the reason why they didn't write back is because they were so confused
they
why
were
you're asking.
overwhelmed.
Well, no, they were so confused why you're asking why to get a sponsorship from a British restaurant for warrior cats, since warrior cats does place in America. So I think you have a lot more of a case here if you went for something like Popeyes or Cheerwine.
Okay, I'll send an email to Cheerwine happily.
Yeah.
Advertise Cheerwine to our underage listeners.
Why do you? It's not alcoholic. Cheerwine isn't alcoholic. It's just called Cheerwine.
The cocktails are, though.
They are. Tiger's blood.
Oh, man. Tiger Star's blood. Yeah!
If you go out and buy yourself a case of Cheerwine and a bottle of vodka, you too could drink Tiger Star's blood. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to end it there.
Drink responsibly. Please drink responsibly.
Please, for God's sake, drink responsibly, and don't drink if you're under 18.
And also, drinking
don't
responsibly means not drinking Tiger Star's blood. It's a terrible drink. Don't drink it.
It's not good. For God's sake.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
stop. Realistic. All right, that's gonna do it. I'm sitting at my desk in abject disbelief that it's over now. I mean, I think I'm still gonna make more. I'll have to talk to the studio, see if they can greenlight season 3. We are getting a lot of requests. We're working on the next season of His Dark Materials. It's entirely filmed within the same studio that I make Fourtrees in, so that might not be a possibility, but we'll see. Like we'll try to get the scheduling done. I'll have to talk to Idris Elba, because he's an executive producer. I don't know what I'm saying. That's a joke, by the way. Wow. I've been doing this for over half of a year. It feels weird because I started doing this as a joke, and I think I'm still doing it as a joke, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know anymore. Thank you so much for listening to Fourtrees, the Warrior Cats community podcast. I've been your host, Spencer Grant. I'd like to thank our guests, Clayton and Cora, for joining us for the last little while. You guys have been an absolute pleasure to have. The season is over now. That's it. Goodbye, The New Prophecy. Goodbye, the books that we read in this season. Goodbye to that. Wow. I guess look forward to season 3 if it happens. And if it doesn't, then I'll make that very clearly communicated through my social media. You can find me at Twitter, twitter.com/SpencerGrantV. And I mean, obviously send me a message if you like the podcast, if you want to see more, if you want to, just tell me about the things that you like about it and maybe the things that you might want to change moving forwards so that we can make this a better experience for everybody. If we do move on, I'm pretty sure we'll move on. I don't have anything better to do. I was joking about His Dark Materials. They wouldn't let us anywhere near that contract. Are you crazy? But that's it. That's Fourtrees season 2. It's gonna be hard to step up the production value between this one and the last one, right? Because in the first season, I kind of intentionally made it a little bit bad so that when season 2 happened, I could have a huge boost. All of a sudden, bam, YouTube videos, bam, 3D graphics, bam, better equalization, guests, people to talk about things, bam, books to read. But now I'm not entirely sure where to go with it. I guess I'll just be doing more of the same, but I'll shift the art direction a little bit. I've been thinking about going for a more, I think I want to go like a less janky 3D vibe, which should be more attainable now, because like in the time, gosh, that's wild. In the time between me starting season 2 and me starting season 3, I have gotten good enough at Blender that I have been like I've basically gotten work off of the merit that like I am better at Blender than like some other applicants, or like I'm good at Blender and also I'm good at these other things. And that's just a very strange thing to think about as a person who doesn't consider himself to be very good at very many things. Wow, thank you so much for listening to this. Like the fact that I put up these episodes and I see people are watching these, within like a week, it's got like more listens and views than I ever expect anything of mine to have. That's absolutely wild. And like I know those are just the numbers on this aggregate. They're probably different if I factor in the numbers that I get on YouTube, which that they aren't that much on YouTube, but like that's still nothing to sneeze at. I sneeze at a lot of things, but I wouldn't sneeze at the fact that this podcast, which was originally intended to have a reach of maybe 2 people, one of them being myself and my weird sense of humor, to be listened to by gosh, it's definitely more like it's like 80 times more people than I've ever expected to pay attention to anything that I would ever say. So thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for your continued attention and support. I'm doing everything I can to make next season better. I'm talking to like people outside of my little group to see if we can get some guests that have a lot more different walks of life. There's some scientists and I've been thinking about talking to. I know I shouldn't have scientists on this because like most of the Warrior Cats fans are like people who are artists. But I don't know. I just think it would be cool. We'll see. On y va. It depends on who responds and it depends on who wants to do this. And it depends on what you guys want. If I get a message that's like very emphatically like, Spencer, I swear to God, if you get, I don't know, who's the Warrior Cats content creator? If you get Mooncat on this show, I'm never listening again. Then I'll be like, all right, I guess I'm not going to get Moon. I'm not saying bully me into like getting the guests that you want or not getting the guests that you don't want. But like, I'll listen to feedback because so far it's been wonderful to pay attention to you guys and to have you guys pay attention to me. That's pretty cool and wild. I'm rambling. I'll finish off the rest of the like ad copy because this is probably going to be the last time that you hear it like this. I'm going to have to change it up next season because some things have changed. But yeah, Fourtrees is recorded live in front of the studio audience at Druids Hollow Studios here in Bristol. Our theme was composed and performed by Spencer Chopin-Grant and mixed by Alex Turner. Our graphics and 3D assets were designed by Spencer Diablo Grant. That's a joke I stole from 30 Rock. Diablo is a middle name. I just think that's funny. I'm sorry. And our editor is Spencer Pagliacci Grant. And that's Pagliacci is a sad clown from it's a play, an old Italian opera. It's basically like a extremely depressed, whatever. I'm sure like most people get that. But I just wanted, somebody to know that I've watched old Italian operas and have opinions about them. This is the person I am. Okay, if you don't like it, stop listening. The Warrior Cat series is written by Erin Hunter, demonstrably true, and distributed by HarperCollins. I think I'm supposed to say Kulabi now. But either way, please support the official release. You can find us at the web at spencergrant.co.uk/Fourtrees, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find our YouTube uploads with auto-generated subtitles and audio visualizations at youtube.com/SpencerGrant. I've been thinking really hard about like buying the domain fourtrees.com. I don't think I'm gonna do it because I feel like that would be taking the joke a little bit too far, but we'll see. Right, things can change. Again, I've been Spencer. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much for your continued support. Bye. Oh wait, I pressed the wrong button to stop the recording because I was looking at a Word document on my other screen. It was like a list of shots, but for movie stuff, I'll press the real spacebar button now. Bye, or bye, whatever I'm supposed to say. Shucks, man. Bye.